Hello. Today we're talking about how to spend $100 per person per month to buy groceries in 2025. Yes, it can be done. The number one tip that I always use is shop the ads. Right here. Shop the ads. Now, I understand the ads can be getting less good deals than they have been, but just watch and you will just keep an eye out and you can find things. I had several people last week say, well, Tara, you don't live in X place. One was Southern California, one was Southern Georgia. And both places, I found boneless, skinless chicken breasts on sale for $2 or less. I found pork on sale, pork loin, pork roast, pork chops for 99 cents. Look for things on sale. The doctor wants me to possibly try carnivore diet. Not sure about that. But I looked, and this week they had steak on sale for $5 or $6 at my grocery store. So if I decide to do that, I'm going to go stock up, and get what I can. Try to buy as much as you can on sale. Here in my town, I only have 2 grocery stores, so Walmart is one of my grocery stores, and it's actually cheaper to buy a lot of my stuff at Walmart than it is on sale at the grocery store. The sale prices at the grocery store don't equal or are higher than the prices at Walmart. So just make sure you know your prices. That's where our price book comes in handy. You just put the store up here. Here's the items, and here's my price that I pay. And I just write down the price of each store. And then I know, okay, wait, steak is going on sale again. So if you're on a carnivore diet, you know when to stock up. Or ground beef has gone on sale. Usually sales are about a 3-week cycle, and then they come back round again. Bonnie says, is this $100 a month for one person include breakfast and lunch and dinner? Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. The next one is stop buying expensive meat. Now, I know I'm talking about steak and all that, but The majority of people, you don't need to be eating shrimp. You don't need to be eating lobster, all of those steak, all those fancy meats. You're going to have to cut back and start eating your ground beef. Chicken leg quarters are the cheapest meat around. Chicken leg quarters are the cheapest meat. But beans are the cheapest protein around. Maybe you can't afford meat at the moment. Then you're going to need to start eating beans and learning how to cook beans. Dining on a Dime, Volume 1 has beans and rice in here. Excellent recipes that your family will love. You can get the link in the description below. Right now, it's up to 50% off for the sets and 40% off for the individual books for our Mother's Day sale, which only happens twice a year.
It's our absolute lowest price that we ever make it for. So did you see there are beans and rice in there?
Yep.
Things I didn't even know.
Yes.
I thought it was not just beans.
It was originally, but then when we updated it, I added beans, even though I don't like beans. I didn't like beans. After living with Mike for 30 years, I actually don't mind eating beans now.
Oh,
I really don't.
I've had an impact on you.
You have. The next thing is use our price book right here to track your prices. Then you will know for sure if something is a good deal. If you find a clearance item and you're like, well, I don't know if cake mix for 17 cents, which I found one time, is a good deal or not. Now, I knew it was a good deal because I had my cake mixes memorized, and 59 cents was the lowest I had gotten up to that point. So I knew full good and well 17 cents was the best price. But let's say it was 56 cents. And I'm like, I can't remember what my cake prices were. Well, and I go look and it's 59 cents, or let's say it was 65 cents. And I looked at my price book and saw, oh, wait, I've gotten it on sale for 59 cents. So I know I can still get it cheaper. That clearance cake mix at 65 cents is not cheaper. Please post your comments and questions and we will get to them in just a moment. Number 5 is stop buying sodas and peeing your money away.
Well,
every time you drink a soda and then you go to the bathroom 15 minutes later, just think of dollar bills just being peed right down the toilet. You're just literally flushing your money away. Literally.
That sounds like a new little meme for you.
It is. I'm sure it is. We had this comment from Shirley. She says, I just have to comment about something I have heard Tara say so many times about not buying soft drinks. I probably won't come as a shock to her, but she was so right. Of course I was. I'm just going to say that.
You're the most humble person you know.
I am the most humble person I know. I've been going over my grocery receipts to see what I might cut on spending. I came to soft drinks and just out of curiosity to check it out. So I figured the numbers, and for the last 3 months of 2024, these are the Coca-Cola products that were purchased at pretty steep discounts. I shop primarily at Kroger with smaller purchases at H-E-B and Walmart. That's a southern grocery store in Texas. From all sources, the numbers from 3 months were $300. So she's spending $297.53. $300 basically. $100 a month. I nearly fell out of my chair. Figure that much spent over a year is very nearly $1,200. Yes, it is. I'm in desperate need of a new couch, and I suddenly realized I've been drinking my new couch. Good for you.
Wow.
I thought since the prices were really good at good discounts, I wasn't really spending that much. I just wanted to say thanks. I've used many tips from you guys, but never ran the numbers. I sure will from here on in. Hope there aren't too many typos here. I'm really excited to finally figure this out and exasperated by the realization that I have pretty much been flushing $1,200 a year.
Wow.
You have got to do the math. Do the math on everything. That $60 delivery pizza that you just had because you're too tired from work, and now you have a $60 delivery pizza and you're feeding your family and they're done eating in 15 minutes. If you make $20 an hour, that means you bring home $10 an hour. Remember, 25% for taxes and then another 25% for all of your expenses for working. That does not include daycare. That will take you 6 hours of working for that pizza to be delivered for your family to eat in 15 minutes. Seriously, let this sink in. $10 a day for a coffee is $50 a week, is $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year.
And that's only one coffee for 5 days of the week.
Yeah. If you spend $2,400 in a year, that means you just worked. Is that right? No, that's not right. Let's see. If you get paid $10 an hour, it is, if you work $2,400 divided by 10. Is that right? 240? Yeah.
And what you're saying is
240 hours a year, which is 6 weeks a year to pee out all your money.
And when you say $10 an hour, you're saying $20 an hour minus payroll deductions and taxes and the clothes and the getting to work and all that.
Yeah, because it's 25% for taxes.
So $10 is what you end up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though you
Just
think you make $20,
it.
you make less.
Yeah.
And then you're flushing it. Yeah.
You're literally flushing it down the toilet.
If you're doing that.
Absolutely ridiculous. 5 hours a week. You could take off work if you just weren't drinking coffee. 6 weeks a year. 6 weeks a year. You have got to let these numbers start sinking in. Now, before I get to my next tip, guys, if you need ideas on homemade coffee recipes, Dining on a Dime, Volume 1 and Volume 2, we have frappuccinos, we have lattes, we have everything, your creamers, everything in here. Volume 1 and Volume 2, they are totally separate recipes, but they go together. Just the book was just getting too big. There's 1,200 recipes and tips in Dining Volume 1 and 800 recipes and tips in Dining Volume 2. And then we also have our gluten-free, dairy-free edition right here. If you're gluten-free, dairy-free like me, the 2-book set and the 3-book set are 50% off for Mother's Day. And then the individual books are 40% off, and the sale ends in just a few days. So grab your copy today. The link is in the description below. The next one is Cook at Home. This goes back with the numbers that I was saying. Run the numbers on how much you are eating out. Dining on a Dime cookbooks, easy recipes to get you in and out of the kitchen fast. I literally spent less than 5 minutes. I spent about 3 minutes making dinner tonight. And how did it taste?
It was amazing.
3 minutes I spent making dinner.
Not only did she spend 3 minutes, but she also spent 3 minutes making dinner while recording dinner. So if you were not recording dinner, it'd probably be even faster for you.
Yeah, that's true. And MAQT says she just made meatloaf from Volume 1. Isn't that the most darn tootin' good meatloaf you've ever had?
I love it.
My dad would make meatloaf for us when we would go see him, and it was nasty, but this is good meatloaf. I was averse to meatloaf until I actually realized he just didn't know how to cook. So anyway, yeah. All right, next one.
Well, one thing I was going to say, like on the coffee, a lot of people don't realize because you're spending it, well, $10 is still a lot. But if you're spending a small amount on something every day or multiple times a day, it's interesting to add up how much is that based on how many times I use it during the week over a year. Like not just the coffee, but everything that you spend money on. Because one of the ways that we paid off debt and managed to save a lot of money and we're on the verge of paying off our house again is by paying attention to those little expenses, because lots of people have tiny expenses, but there are hundreds of them a week.
Yep. I am QT Pie is their name. Excuse me. I have no idea what a QT Pie is.
No, cutie pie. Like,
I'm a cutie pie. Oh, that's funny. Okay, now I get it. Sorry.
You've had a long day.
I had a very long day. Wait till you guys tell us what we did this last weekend and now what we're doing this week. And I'm just like, ugh. Okay. Next one. Stop buying organics and your all natural foods and all that baloney. Listen, Just wash off your fruits and vegetables. I have been a gardener for almost 40 years now. And most of the pesticides and all that stuff can just be washed off. Just wash them off and be done with it. As a matter of fact, a lot of the organic pesticides aren't any better than the chemical ones. So just wash off your fruits and vegetables. But organic, natural, all those foods are so ridiculously expensive. The majority of people cannot afford them. If all your debt is paid off and everything and your retirement's funded, that's fine. Go, you buy whatever you want. I don't care. You buy whatever you darn tootin' well please, if your debt is paid off and your retirement is ready to go. But if you're not, these are tips to help you start saving money, and not buying organic is one of them. Stop eating so many fruits and vegetables. Oh, what do you think my doctor's going to say about that?
I hear screaming over the internet.
I'm talking about the expensive fruits and vegetables. Your blueberries, your raspberries, your blackberries, your expensive vegetables. Like, I don't know, what's an expensive vegetable? You know, jicama, and I don't know. I can't
Jicama? I
think of what expensive
Asparagus?
vegetables would be. Yeah, asparagus would be a good one. Stick with your easy, cheap vegetables, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your apples, your oranges, grapes when they're on sale. Those are the ones that you want to stick with to help save money. The next one is stop eating so much food. You can send me comments.
Are you talking to me?
And me. Well, no, I'm not talking to me. I am not eating so much food. But are you eating so much food? Do you have a guilty conscience?
Actually, at the moment, I'm not. But it has been my habit a lot of years.
Listen, if
I
you're
have intermittent gorging syndrome. Just kidding. I did anyway.
Do we need to have the pastor preach on gluttony?
Yes.
At a Baptist
they need to
church.
do that more often than they do.
Especially at a Baptist church, that would.
Yeah, you can't avoid the things that are your own problem.
But seriously, if you're overweight, especially if you've got diabetes, you're just going to have to stop eating so much food. Your grocery bill will go down. We have had person after person after person tell us they've not only lost weight, but they've saved money, and they use that money to pay off their debt.
Woohoo.
You can do it. You really can. And no one ever wants to talk about that. I get it. It's not fun. It's not pretty. But those are the things that you need to do. Now, you can spend $100 a month per person if you follow these tips. You really can. I know people like my mom who still eat $80 a month. Viewers are sending me $100 a month, $120 a month. Food is still exceptionally cheap in the United States. I know nobody wants to believe it, but even with the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, it is still exceptionally cheap. Bonnie says, I'm a foodie so hard. I agree with Mike. Yeah, I'm not telling you it's easy. Believe me, I get it. But
yeah.
All right. We are going to get our comments and questions right now. Jim. Hello, Jim. Good evening to you too. Aline says, yay, a Tara rant. Wow. Wait till you see some of my upcoming videos.
Do you say get it together, people?
I just have to say, I need to thank President Trump for giving me lots of content.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do I need to what?
Do you say get it together, people a lot?
I don't. I should have. I need to say it
again. We need
to
get you a special podium.
Yep.
Just so you can bang it when you say get it together.
We do. I do. Yes.
And that way you'll remember to say it on the video.
Yes. I agree. Yep. Well, everyone was saying I was being too harsh and judgmental.
And then others say, go ahead and rant, Tara.
Ruth says, hello from rainy Houston. It's rainy here too. And so does Karen in Connecticut also. Hello, Nancy. And Karen says, have you seen the videos of Walmart pulling meats and dairy off their shelves? I think they are trying to make it look bad when it's not. I have not seen those videos. I do find that extremely difficult to believe, though. Are they pulling them from the shelves because the meat is expired or whatever? I find it really hard to believe that they're just pulling it just for a photo op, because that wouldn't even make sense.
It would be better for them not to order it because it'll go bad if they pull it from the
Yeah,
shelf.
it'd be better for them just to sell it.
They'll lose money on it if they pull it from the shelf and it ages too much.
What reason would they have to do that? That doesn't make any sense. JC has spent $50 only this week, not because of sales, but because I bought the absolute necessities. I'm one of those weird people that actually enjoy grocery shopping. Other types of shopping, not so much. Very good. Darlene, my grocery store just sent its weekly ad on app phone. I figured I'd watch you first. Well, thank you. Mary, is ground chuck at $3.99 good? When I compared to other stores here, it was the lowest price. I bought 20 pounds. Yeah, if it's the lowest price for you, that's good. I tend to try to stay around $2.99 or less a pound. But I will say I have not seen it that low for, well, let's see. I think this was the lowest ad. So like 2 months ago, I think, was when I saw it for that. So it $3.99 might be the new low price. I don't know. That's where you just have to watch your ads. Michelle says she got some sort of fish from the food pantry today. Oh, yum. I love fish. Gabriel, enjoy your videos. Thank you for doing them. I also have your cookbooks. Thank you. If you would like to get our cookbooks, they are on sale right now for Mother's Day. Cinda, I bought 10 pounds of chicken thighs for $1 a pound. Also ordered your 2 cookbooks. Can't wait to get them. Thank you for ordering. We appreciate it. Vicky, beans are dirt cheap. Perfect if you're on a tight budget. Yes, they are. Very good. Maybe what I should do, I have another channel called Super Easy Recipes. I could do it for this one or the other one.
Which one?
Bean recipes.
Ooh.
Ultra cheap bean recipes.
Well, except for ultra cheap isn't a Super Easy Recipes thing, is it? I mean, it is, but we don't.
No, but I mean, people would. They don't know how to make them.
I would love to have tests on the bean recipes.
You would?
Yes, I would.
I might not love you so much later, but that's okay. You can sleep downstairs.
Hey.
Just kidding. You're a good taste tester.
I have not been a problem with beans.
Wanda, Safeway will have 80% off hamburger, eggs, and ham on sale starting tomorrow. Really? I wonder why. That's very interesting. I wonder if that's true for Albertsons, who also is a conglomerate, I think, with Safeway. Or is that what it's called? I don't know. Whenever the stores used to be separate, but now they're all under the same thing. Jean says, I really love beans. My husband did not. All his siblings and parents ate beans every day. Actually, I really like it. My mother absolutely hated them growing up. But after living with Mike, I kind of almost like them. Darlene says, Tara, so shy. I don't think shy is something they will describe at my funeral about me. What are words that they will use to describe about me at my funeral?
Sorry. Put me on the spot when I was reading a customer comment.
You're hesitating.
A viewer comment.
You're hesitating.
What will they say about you at your funeral? They remember the time when you did the whole Carol Burnett thing with the toilet paper rolls. Wasn't it toilet paper?
The Carol Burnett thing.
The
Gone with the no, yeah, it was. Well, it was the curtain rod and the toilet paper. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. That's it. That's what you can come up with for my funeral.
No, I'm not thinking deeply.
How about she was such a wonderful wife?
Oh, well, there's that.
I will miss her. She loved me so much.
We're gonna play God Save the Queen.
Well, you are. All right, Karen, Tara, of course you're right. That's why you made a business out of it. LOL, yep. Gabriel says, I love your honesty. Sodas are a waste of money. Yep. Vicky says, it's opportunity cost. When you buy one thing, you are saying no to another. Yep. Can't buy a new couch if you are spending $2,000 on sodas. Yep. Nancy, why leftovers are so good? No need to eat out ever. Yep. Kathy, cookbooks will help you save time and money. Thank you. Yes, they will. Debbie, I purchased 80/20 ground beef at Kroger for $2.99. They came in 3-pound packs. I bought a limit of 5. I do carnivore. That's a deal for me. So right now, at my Walmart, which is not usually the cheapest for getting ground beef. But let me see. A 3-pound package of ground beef right now is $5 a pound at my Walmart. Do they have 10-pound? They used to have 10-pound packages. I don't see 10-pound packages. So for me, that's not really a good deal, but it might be for you. Wanda, I like a little coffee with my creamer. That's funny. Yeah, I'm the same way with tea when I was drinking creamer in my tea. Can you send me the next one? Karen, $2,400 just on coffee is nuts. Yeah, but I mean, the line at Starbucks is never ending in our town. It's not. We
can't get into the adjacent businesses because of the Starbucks line.
We went to Yellowstone National Park this weekend, and we got to stay at the Yellowstone Inn, which is pretty cool, by the way.
The Old Faithful Inn, right?
I mean, Old Faithful Inn. The line at the coffee cart was always busy. Almost always busy. The only times it wasn't busy is when the geyser was going off. It's crazy what people spend to literally just pee it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, do I tell them about my toilet problem, my toilet horrible experience that I had while I was there?
I don't know. I don't remember.
They're eating dinner.
I don't think you should tell them that story.
I had a really bad experience.
That's not a story for our show.
Yeah, but people would appreciate
just
it.
Just a grossing people out.
I need someone to appreciate what I went through. It was traumatizing. I have a hard time using public bathrooms now.
You do?
I do. I really do.
I just go in there, and if it's disgusting, it's like, nope.
Sarah, I drink only water and put lime juice in it so it tastes better. Very good. Well, I do sometimes drink coffee in the mornings. Very good. Nancy, how much do people spend on gas at the drive-thru yearly? 10 minutes idling in line is overpriced coffee. No kidding. I never thought about that. You're totally right. Kimberly, my oldest is 38 today. After 9 years of dating, I married my husband 19 years ago. I am in shock. Where did the years go? I mean, my high school graduation 1982 was just yesterday, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm a cutie. Says whenever.
There you go. All right.
Whenever we cook at home, we put a restaurant menu price on the meal. Makes me feel like we made a great choice for cheaper. I need to start doing that for my videos. You are right. That is excellent. Michelle, tacos are a 5-minute meal. You are correct. Tacos, tostadas, burritos, fajitas, all of your Mexican food, enchilada casserole. Those are all 5 minutes. Amy, I know this is planning, but we need to eat dinner earlier. We have been rearranging, simplifying life. It's totally fine. I've gotten to the point now where we're eating dinner about 3:30 or 4 because we've been doing all these live shows. So I just have dinner ready as soon as Jack gets home from school, and we just eat it then. We just had some really good brown sugar and garlic chicken sandwiches tonight. Wasn't it delicious?
It was. It was really good. You'll get to see when the video goes.
Yeah. So, super easy recipe. Aline says, I'm making copycat recipes at home, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Olive Garden. Very good. Darlene, do you think intermittent fasting will change the way you eat? I don't know. I mean, I guess it could. I basically do that anyway. I stop eating about 6 o'clock at night, and I don't eat till 9 or 10 the next day. So I don't know if it changes the way I eat.
Well, if you do that consistently for a certain amount of time and it just becomes a habit, then yes, it'll change the way you eat because you won't be in the habit of eating. Because for me, if I eat in the evening at all, even if it's just popcorn or something, it causes a downhill slide. So changing your habit is the main thing. So yes.
Yeah. Give me a thumbs up, guys. That helps YouTube know that you love our videos, please. And it sends to more people. Grandma So Happy says, my mom always talks about when she grew up, they ate what was in season in their area. Yes, exactly. The problem now is it's hard to say that because sometimes, because we get all our fruits and vegetables from Mexico half the time now, I actually found cantaloupe for 99 cents a pound at Albertsons in January. And I bought some. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of have a problem eating food from Mexico. I know. But
You've been doing it for a very long time.
I know. But for the majority of food, you can't really buy it in season and have it be cheaper than what they're shipping up from Mexico now. So Mary says she grows her own fruits and vegetables. Yep. Question, Sandra wants to know, how long does minute oatmeal last? Oh, really long time. It's got sugar in it. And I mean, I would say 2, 3, 4 years past the expiration date. Bonnie's Homemade Haven says, I do shop the sell ads, but prices have gone up. Yes, they have. I agree with you. Edward said, supports are empty. Excuse me. I did have a viewer tell me that they are seeing that in their town where they're at. I think their Seattle port is where they were.
Oh, that's what I've been hearing, that one of the ports is nearly empty and one is just fine, and another one I forgot, that there are different things happening at different ports. So one of the problems is it's hard to know if you're seeing what's happening everywhere. So I'd be a little cautious on that, especially when people like record it and put it on YouTube from the one port. So it may be that they're getting more empty, but yeah, I would check before I would just go with that if somebody said that.
Ray says, should we be buying natural chicken, no antibiotics? And Mike was Googling it during the show and says all meat, poultry, and dairy foods sold in the U.S. are free of antibiotic residues as required by federal law, whether or not the food is labeled antibiotic or free. Meaning
that's from the Iowa Farm Bureau, but it's actually, I thought the federal law prohibited it.
Meaning it's got to get all out of their system before they can sell the meat. Personally, I mean, I have no problem eating animals that have had antibiotics because I don't want sick animals. I don't want to be eating sick animals. And it makes our food cheaper.
Well, and it does say, in addition to it being illegal to use them here in the U.S., that if they import meat from other places, they test it, and if there's any of it in there, they discard it. So you're not. It did say. Well, actually, it's interesting because the. Does it say it on this? There was one of the places where I looked real quick when I was looking, and it said, "Oh yeah, okay." Did you read the part about whether or not it's labeled antibiotic free? So if they put antibiotic free, it's already antibiotic free. It's like there were some other foods that are marketed that way too. Like it's like when you buy candy and it says fat free. Well, of course it's fat free. Candy doesn't have, most candy's just sugar. So
yeah.
But they put that on there to market it, so people say, "Wow, this one doesn't have antibiotics. I'm going to buy that."
Yeah. And Wanda says, why is it bad for meat to have antibiotics? Isn't that to get a healthy animal? Yes, it is. Georgina, I bought your gluten-free cookbook for a dear friend, and she loves it. Thank you. Our individual books are 40% off, but if you get the sets, either the 2-book set or the 3-book set, it is 50% off for Mother's Day. That's the lowest we go. Mother's Day and Black Friday. So grab it now, or you're going to be waiting 6 months before it goes that low again.
There's no guarantee that we ever mark it down that low, but
well,
it's our usual habit on.
Last year we had a big emergency, so we had to come up with cash to pay for that. And then one year we moved, so we have occasionally had it lower, but it usually doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. Ellen says charo beans. What are charo beans?
It's a Mexican style soup consisting of pinto beans submerged in a broth full of amazing flavors. I'm reading that.
Okay, what kind of amazing flavors?
Well, if this picture is correct, it looks like bacon and
says
tomatoes
beef,
and cilantro.
Frank's, chorizo, ham, chorizo. And bacon.
Yeah, the chorizo is like a sausage, basically.
I'm a cutie. Says yes, please. On
she
the
loves
beans.
your name. You just wish she thought of it first. That's what
I know.
It is.
Amber says, I have all of your cookbooks and love them. Thank you, Amber. They are beautiful and filled with tips and above and beyond delicious recipes. Thank you. Yes. And we don't have a color picture for every single recipe because there's just so many recipes in there. We just couldn't physically do it, or the book would just be way too big. But we have a lot of pictures right there, pecan pie, in the book. Nova Scotia says, I love your channels. Made many things from super easy recipes too. Thank you. That's my other cooking channel. Tanya says, I spend about $350. I have 3 to 4 people. I do buy extras, but the only problem I have is going to the store too much. I have Meijer, Aldi, and local chain that I usually stop at. Good for you.
And that's right in the target for grocery budget, right?
Karen says, Tara, got it together so good that God finally took her home. That's what she's going to put on my tombstone. Thank you, Karen. That's what I wanted to hear.
I would say she never does anything halfway.
I Cutie says,
she doesn't let any grass grow under her feet.
She said people would describe me as unique.
Yep.
Maybe I need to have my viewers write my eulogy.
You're the queen. Oh, we would have all kinds of stuff to say. It would be a very long funeral. And I would say, well, she said just dig a hole in the garden and dump her in, and that's why we're standing here today.
Ellen says she loved, they will talk about the stove being taken apart and the one where I caught it on fire. So everybody was laughing at me taking the stove apart to clean it. I didn't realize that would be such a big thing. I thought a lot of people did that. That's funny. Dragon fruit. Safeway in Northern California has Chuck for $3.99, and that's Milo. But I don't have a Costco membership, so maybe I have not noticed Costco being any cheaper. Mary, I have Crohn's, can't eat beans or raw vegetables. Well, yeah, some people can't, and that's fine. Michelle, I've been cutting back on soda, but still am sort of addicted. Ask for it as gifts for Christmas. That's what we do. We give sodas as gifts for holidays. Water bucket. Tara, she was smart and funny lady. Will never forget her TP test. Are you going to put a roll of TP on my tombstone?
No.
Michelle, I buy Kroger big case soda and it costs less. Very good. Janet, I use your ebook and love the recipes. Thank you. Yes, all of our books are available in ebook form. If you are outside the United States, you can grab those. Or inside too. I just mean we can't ship our print books outside the United States. So if you need the ebooks, you can grab those, and those are on sale. And Kai says, if you don't have these cookbooks, at least one, don't hesitate to buy. They are the only cookbooks that I use. I donated all my old ones. Man, wow. That's a testimonial and a half.
Thanks. We appreciate that.
Wow. Thank you. Lori, I found chicken leg quarters at Fire Lake Grocery for $5.50 for a 10-pound frozen bag. Very good. She has our cookbooks, volume 1 and 2. That's the red and blue one. Your books have taught me so much. Thank you. You are welcome, and thank you for buying them. Michelle, Starbucks is right next to Wendy's here. Sometimes we accidentally get in the wrong lane. Oh, dear.
Those are 2 of the 3 places. Well, those are the 2 places that get the most amount of traffic blocking the public roads. Because the lines are so long they can't stay in the parking lot. Although our Taco Bell doesn't do that. In Colorado it did, but the one here has pretty bad service.
Well, actually, they still have a long line. Every time I go to Walmart, there's a line.
They?
Yeah.
Wow.
Melinda, I spent $1.05 at McDonald's iced coffee on the app, but if I quit that, then I would have enough to buy a sleeping bag or camping item. Yep, you would. Grandma's so happy, especially since that's about 10, 15 cents worth at home. So you're paying 80, 90% more. Grandma's so happy. I have extended family member. They have a fancy coffee maker, yet every day they go to Starbucks and buy 2 fancy coffees. It's crazy what they spend. Plus they buy for both their kids. I know, it's ridiculous.
For which one?
Buying coffees.
Oh,
JC, I don't see what the big deal is with Starbucks. I really don't like Dunkin'. I've had their donuts twice in my 42 years. I got the worst migraine after eating them. Oh, that's interesting. Jennifer, if coffee prices go up, do you think people will start cutting out Starbucks? No, I don't think it will. I think they would have to go to $50 a cup before people would start cutting it out. I really do. I don't think people are. Look at cigarettes. How much is a carton of cigarettes now? How much is a carton of cigarettes? So, holy cow, between $50 and $70 right now. And it was, let's see, let's do 1940. $1.20. It was $1.20. Has it stopped people from smoking? Nope, maybe a few. but it hasn't. People still smoke.
Well, and the thing about the coffees is that it's kind of happened in 2008 and other times when people have said the economy was bad. People just charge it if they can until their debt is completely maxed out.
Yep.
So people would do that instead of cutting back when the times are tough.
Dragon Fruit says Safeway Friday only sales will have ground beef for $80.20 for $2.50 a pound. That's a good deal. Jennifer of Coffee Break says, excuse me, Barbara, $80.20 ground beef on sale in her area this week. Can you send me the next one? Sarah.
Yep.
I'll admit, Tara, I'm guilty of eating too much in the evenings after work. Working around warehouse, picking people's orders all day, and I get so hungry because I really don't want to eat while working. I really need this to stop. Well, here's the thing. If you're not working during the day, but you're eating your calories at night, as long as you're eating the right amount of calories, it's not going to matter. If you need, let's say, 2,500 calories to maintain, let's say you sound like you're on your feet all day. So let's say you need 2,500 calories. If you eat 2,500 calories all through the day or you eat them all at night, it's really not going to matter. You're still eating 25 calories. So you'll maintain your weight then if you need to. Bella, really appreciate and respect you for all you share. Thank you. Melinda, I agree with stop eating so much food. I'm on a waste less journey, but our portions are out of control. Yes, they are. JC made our maple glazed chicken and grilled it, and it was so good. Thank you. Dining on a Dime Volume 1 is where you can find that. Also at our website, livingonadime.com. It is maple glazed chicken and honey baked chicken are our two top recipes on our website. You can get our cookbooks for up to 50% off right now. Ellen, just saw Weight Watchers filed for bankruptcy. What? Weight Watchers has been around forever. It's all the doing of Tara, she says. Yeah, but it's Weight Watchers. They've been around forever. How does Weight Watchers go bankrupt?
Apparently, they're not planning to be. This is a reorganization bankruptcy, not a going out of business bankruptcy. So apparently they're good at losing weight, but not managing their business. Apparently.
Darlene, I'm a refrigerated truck driver. Freight is moving real good. Yeah, when we came back from Yellowstone this weekend, there was a lot of traffic with trucks going on the road. So I don't know.
The thing is, you'd have to look to see, you'd have to actually research to find out what's going on at all the different ports and things, because if you hear something on YouTube and then you happen to notice that one store is empty, it sort of makes it look like the whole country is empty, but that may or may not be the case. So if you're concerned, I would just look there. We're not seeing a lot of shortages, are we?
Not yet.
We haven't seen anything so far. Not saying that that it wouldn't come. It could come. But I tend to think that right now, I think China's the only one where the tariffs are active at the moment. And so that would not be food items mostly. Well, it could be some, but you have to be careful listening to the news and things because they're going to make it sound the absolute worst.
I don't know. Oh my. Okay. Nancy said decades ago, someone said use smaller plates. It makes it look like you have more food. You are right. Also, and stop after you have that one smaller plate and wait to see if you are actually hungry for more.
Yes.
Mary says, hi guys, I enjoyed your live videos. I have all your cookbooks and love them. Thank you. Man, thank you guys for all the testimonials. Yeah, if you guys don't have our books, grab them now. Up to 50% off for Mother's Day. Only happens for Mother's Day and Black Friday. Sarah, I like Mike's advice about our eating. We do have to break our bad habits. Exactly. Can you see me the next one? Kimberly, cowboy beans are a great dinner.
There's only one comment on the next one.
Okay. It's baked beans and white beans and ground hamburger and bacon. It's delicious. Ooh, yum. I should try that. Mom is doing well, Janet. Thank you for asking. Darlene, it would say on Tombstone, she rants, she raves, she taught us how to save. Oh, I love that. Okay, you can put that on my tombstone. Okay. Darlene, you picked what's going to be on my tombstone. She rants, she raves, she taught us how to save. That is perfect.
Yep. We just have to be careful that the dirt never piles up around the tombstone because then it'll just say she rants and she raves. So we'll just have to get in there and clean it.
So you're going to make sure it's cleaned off every week? Every day it's cleaned off.
every day. You know it.
That's pretty good. I like that. Terry, my son's friend, loves my taco seasoning, aka your recipe. So much better than the packet they have at their house. Yes, isn't it delicious? And it's super cheap. Livingonadime.com. You can find the recipe. Just do a search for taco seasoning. I have it there, but it's also in our volume 1 cookbook. We have, I don't know, 10 or 12 spices in volume 1 and 10 or 12 spices in volume 2. And oops, wait a minute. This is gluten-free. We also have the gluten-free volume 2 right here. Also has spices. So, yeah. Amazing Grace. How's everyone? It's so nice outside. I'm trying to pull thistles out of my flower bed. Oh, thistles are the worst. Yeah, I was getting ready. Actually, I was just thinking today it's supposed to be sun shining all for the next. We go from snow. We literally had snow in my flower beds this morning. It's going to be 78 tomorrow.
Yep.
Welcome to Wyoming.
Yep.
We have 1 week of spring, just like Kansas.
It's actually not unheard of to get snow at the end of May.
So now all my thistles and all my weeds are going to be sprouting next week. So probably Friday, I'm going to be out spraying everything to get it killed. Dragon Fruit says, do you print and create or manufacture your cookbooks or go to a publisher? We self-publish, which means we do all the writing of the books. We edit the books. We do all the typesetting. We created the cover. The pictures are stock photos that we get because I just stink at food styling. I stink at it. So these are stock photos, which, by the way, we paid $1 for. I mean, seriously, you can't even take the time to make the food for that.
But there are pictures that look like what the recipe.
Yeah, it looks like what the recipe would turn out to be. And then we spend the money. So we spend the $25,000 or whatever it costs for each printing of our book. And then we order between, usually 2,500 is the lowest we'll go, but sometimes we've ordered up to 10,000. Have we ordered more than 10,000 before?
No.
Of each kind? So we order between 2,500 and 10,000. And then we pay for that. We have them printed in South Korea. Really nice people. We love you, Patcom. And then they ship them to us and we store them in our warehouse on our property.
Yep. We've learned all the little details over the years. We did have a publisher at one point, but that was a mistake.
Yeah, huge mistake.
Because we ended up doing about the same amount of work with the publisher, but we only got a quarter a book instead of.
No, we didn't even get that much. For a quarter, you're right. For the books are fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a quarter for each book for 250,000 books.
So it ends
for
up
8 years worth of work. That was our first profit.
So if we do the middleman work, then we get paid the middleman price also. So that's why we do it all.
What people don't understand is when you have a publisher, you get paid 10% usually, or if there's a co-author, it's 5%. You get paid 10% of the amount they sell the book. So let's just say my book is, I don't know, what's the price on this one? $40. $40 retail for my book. The bookstore buys it. They get it in. You can't buy it at the bookstore, guys. You can only buy it at our website, livingonadime.com. You can't even get it at Amazon unless it's a used copy. But let's say the bookstore bought this. The bookstore would pay $20 for my $40 book. And then I would get $2 for a $40 book from if we did it in the bookstores. That's why we don't do it in the bookstores. Jennifer says Safeway has tried to beef roast on sale for $3.99 tomorrow. A very good deal. Wow, man, maybe I should have you run out and see if the mails come and see what our ads for Albertsons is tomorrow. Maybe they're having the same deals.
I can go out there and check.
Can you run out and go check and see if it's come?
Yes.
Real quick.
Wait,
please.
What's that sound? That's the
is that the mail person right now?
Orders from today moving out to the post office on their way.
So the mail lady just drove up. So can you go get it in like 30 seconds?
Yes, but let me.
Granny Prepper, thank you. She just joined my other cooking channel, Super Easy Recipes. Thank you, thank you. Amazing Grace Ranch says Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all of you too. I'm a Cutie says she highly recommends our cookbooks. Thank you.
All right, I just sent you the next one, and I'm going to get the mail. I shall return.
Darlene, what is your favorite meal on Mother's Day? What I don't have to cook. I'll eat anything. But Mike makes a stupendous omelet for me every Mother's Day for breakfast.
Oh, thank you.
And I love it. He puts all the yummy stuff in there, the ham, the goat cheese, olives, onions. He just packs it full, and it is so delicious. I don't know why I don't cook it for myself, but for Mother's Day and my birthday, he makes me those every holiday. So that is probably my favorite. Anna Laura says the fresh fruits and vegetables at the Mexican market store are a lot cheaper than anywhere else here. Yes, everything Mexico, but it's good and cheap. Yes. I just question, like, how sanitary are they? I don't know. Since, I guess it comes through our FDA, which, could be questionable, but, or USDA, whichever it is. I don't know. But, I don't know. I just question how sanitary it is. Oh, do you guys want to hear what happened to me in the bathroom at Old Faithful Inn? If you're eating dinner, you may not want to, but type 1 if you want me to, and type 2 if you don't want me to. You may not want me to. Oh, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. Dragon Fruit says, other than food, do you have suggestions for reducing utilities like Wi-Fi, cell phones, cable, and streaming services?
There are no ads today.
What?
Well, here.
What do you mean there's no ads today?
Well, it's the Country Bounty. If you want to read that, that's fine.
It's right here.
Got Windows. Oh! See, I did not know that they're concealed inside of the little newspaper.
Okay, let's see. Just a second, Dragon Fruit. We got the ad. Wow.
Ooh, what's all this one?
Why only are they saying 1 or 2?
Almost all one.
Oh, they're saying 1. Okay.
What is the 1, 2?
Michael just have to deal with it.
What is it?
About my experience at the Old Faithful Inn in the bathroom.
You're going to be sorry you asked.
Okay, so it looks like for Mother's Day, all they really have that's on sale is milk and maybe asparagus. Look, so they got milk for $2.77, and they have asparagus for $1.77. But hold on the back here they have cantaloupe for 99 cents. So I would probably get that. Yeah, ground beef still $5.49. That's not very good.
I am failing you, dear. I'm so sorry.
You are failing me. Why?
Linda says, my Mother's Day meal will be brown sugar bourbon salmon and white rice pilaf with lemon meringue pie for dessert.
Oh, have mercy.
And all I did was
you got to step up your game. Our viewers are making you look bad.
I know you said you love the omelet.
I do, actually. I really love
I honestly, I put all kinds of stuff in it, though. So it's colorful and fancy. Yeah.
Dragon Fruit says, other than food, do you have suggestions for reducing utilities like Wi-Fi, cell phones, cable, and streaming services? Well, first of all, you don't need any streaming services. Cut them. YouTube has billions of videos. Probably half of the movies that we watch at night are on YouTube. We just type in classic comedy. What's the one we were watching last night that's good? Something
about your husband.
Shoot. You'll have to look it up. It was good.
Well, one thing on the streaming services, we pay for Friendly. Mostly Jack and I are watching Star Trek on it at the moment, but Tara and I were watching some things on there previously. But yeah,
you don't need them.
The main issue is, but I don't think it didn't sound like they're desperate. It just sounded like, how do you save on those services? What the main thing is that a lot of people have 28 different services. And if you go to Amazon, we also have Amazon Prime, but we have that for the shipping largely because we order a lot of stuff for the business. But the big problem for a lot of people is they just have too many services and they forget which ones they have and they're not watching the ones they're paying for. And if you go to Amazon Prime and you watch videos, a lot of times it says, oh, hey, you can watch this with a free trial of BritBox. Oh, you can watch this with a free trial of Paramount Plus. And you can watch this with a free trial of, well, if you get a free trial of everything, after the free trial is over, if you're not paying attention, then you're paying for it. And so I think watching carefully to make sure that you only have I would only have 1 or 2 max.
Yeah.
And then just keep an eye on not signing up for the other ones.
Cut all the streaming services, cell phones, cut all the unnecessary things for your cell phones. You don't need a smartphone unless you use it. We have a smartphone, but I use it for my business. Utilities, AC, 78 minimum in the summer. Heat, 68 minimum.
You mean maximum?
Or maximum, I mean, for both of those. Sorry, maximum. In the winter, don't take 20-minute showers. Take 3 to 4, 5-minute showers. You don't need to water your lawn every single day. Let's see, what other utilities?
Well,
Gas.
it says she asked like Wi-Fi. So if you're buying home internet, like where we are right now, you can get 1 gigabyte, 3 gigabytes, and 5 gigabytes. Well, 5 is the fastest, so a lot of people want that. Well, almost nobody needs more than 1. So on a service like that, find out how much you actually need and only get the part that you need.
Yep.
That would save you a ton. Because we're a business that uses it for streaming, and we have 1.
Yeah. Insurance, call around to different insurance companies and see if you can get the same deal for less. What else? Of course, your housing. You don't necessarily have to have a really big, huge house. Get something you can afford. You may have to move to cut down on property taxes, insurance, that kind of thing. Joe says in 1963, the cigarettes for my dad was the first thing she put into the grocery buggy. It was $2 a carton, and she only had $10 each week for groceries. Oh my goodness, your poor mother. Water bucket. I quit smoking when it became $5 a box. Too much money. Yeah. Janet, Weight Watchers is saying it's because everyone is taking the new weight loss needles like Ozempic. Actually, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
I can see that.
Although, to be honest, I mean, I don't know how it is with everyone, but I think that the thing with Ozempic and stuff like that is maybe for some people you can take it and then just go hog wild and eat anything you feel like eating. But the reality is it doesn't, you still have to think, I'm not going to eat this today.
Yeah.
It maybe makes it a little easier, but yeah, so I'm surprised that they wouldn't have people coming back after that.
Amazing Grace says apparently Weight Watchers didn't watch her channel so they could get it together. That's funny. Terry, I knew someone that would pay $35 for an XL fountain drink from Circle K because she would use her card even when she knew she didn't have the dollars in her account because she wanted it. I know. Texas Gadget Gal found Weight Watchers is reportedly preparing to file bankruptcy due to combo factors, including the rise in weight loss drugs. Well, there you go. Mary loves our gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook. Thank you. I am gluten-free, dairy-free. This is all the recipes that I use, including sandwich bread that is delicious. Just follow the recipe exactly. If the sandwich bread fails in here, it's because you didn't follow the recipe exactly. Every single time I've helped people who had problems with it, I go through and say, did you do this, 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 this? Oh, I followed the recipe exactly. No, they didn't follow it exactly. Follow it exactly. Sandy, eat peanut butter and crackers at work. Yep. Julie loves her family loves my cinnamon roll recipe. Thank you. Volume 1. I love this recipe. I don't know where I got that cinnamon roll recipe from. I love it. Sandy, when I was shopping this weekend, I was reading labels and my body wash is imported. I know, got 95% of the stuff is imported. And I'm actually have a video coming out on this tomorrow. So be watching, talking about this and the tariffs and all that. And so, yeah, Tanya says, my 2 favorite ranters, me and Dave Ramsey. Thank you. Dragon fruit. Can you see me the next one? You're done. Dragon fruit. I found your channel because you helped me with Christmas sweets for gift giving. It really helped bring the cost down. I used recipes. Thank you. Michelle said, we have a weird tradition. My family, extended family, have a picnic at the cemetery on Memorial Day. Okay, that is weird. Why would you do that?
I've heard of people doing that.
Have a picnic with grandma on Memorial Day?
I've heard of people doing that just to remember their relative or whatever.
Are you going to have a picnic with me on Memorial Day?
Well, you're not really there, so probably
on
not.
My birthday?
I would have to go back to Buckingham Palace and remember the time when you showed up for your audience with the Queen. And I would just have to say, my queen and the other queen got together and well, actually, she didn't come out, did she?
You didn't, no.
Even though you were there. Oh.
Yep.
Well, we still love her anyway.
Jesus and Coffee. I've been using your books for years, but my volume 1 now has severe water damage. Do you have a sale price for volume 1 and gluten-free as a set? No, we don't. I don't know. What do we do about that?
What?
Do we have a sale for gluten-free in volume 1? I guess what we could do is, I don't know.
Or contact us either way would be fine.
Yeah, contact us, editor@livingonadime.com, and we'll work something out for you. Kimberly, my husband prefers all the homemade spice mixes from my cookbooks. Thank you. He loves the taco mix because he says now he thinks the packages are too hot. And of course, we put seasoned salt on everything. Thank you. Both of those are in volume 1. Dragon fruit, do you plan on a copycat cookbook for fast food places? You know, I should.
You have some in.
I actually have a lot of copycat recipes, and I really want to do that cookbook. Problem is, I don't know that it would actually sell. Even though it's a great idea, I don't know that it would sell. Although maybe it will now, since food prices have just gone through the roof. Jean says, I bought a house in February that had a single elderly woman smoker. Oh, I had to have the interior repainted using Kills primer under the new paint. I have had those houses before, and it's awful. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you have to wash all the nicotine off the walls first, and then you have to put Kills on, and it is just, it's awful. It's a job and a half.
Ouch, I feel rejected.
Okay, I think I gave...
Debbie says, Mike, please go check the mail again so Tara will tell us her bathroom.
My bathroom story. If you are eating dinner, you are warned, okay? You are warned.
Sorry,
Connie,
Mike
I hope
would
you're
draw
done.
the line.
I know.
You'll be sorry you asked.
That's why it's my show. Because
Oh,
I know what people want.
Ouch.
They want my bathroom story.
Do you hear this? Okay. Oh,
so we went to the Old Faithful Inn, 120 years old, and it's wooden. It's cool. Can you get a picture of it up real? Well, I'll do it. It is a cool, really super old inn that they built in Yellowstone Park. Okay. And it's right here. This is it. Let me share my screen. There. Isn't that cool? We were in a room right over on this side. And let me see if it shows pictures of the inside. So there's the guy that built it. Here's one of the original pictures. And it is just too darn cool. Here's the dining room. And do they have a picture of the...
You should have warned me.
Here. Here's a picture of this. Is the fireplace. Is that just not too cool? Oh my goodness. It was just really cool. But what happened was Mike made these reservations several months ago because
your computer. Oh yes.
Because it's like $650 a night to stay in this place.
Show that one.
With a shared bathroom. Okay. Let's see.
That's just the interior.
Let's see. Let me share this one just a second. How do I find it? Oh, here. Okay, so Mike took this picture. Oh, there I am. Oh.
I mean,
isn't that cute?
Sure
oh, that's just too cute. Take off the lower third real quick so they can see the fireplace down there. Isn't that cool? I mean, oh my goodness, this place is just too darn cool.
That fireplace down there has on the front, there's a little black spot you can see if you're looking at the screen, and that black spot is it's a metal cutout representation of Old Faithful going off.
So this fireplace has 500 tons of stone, and the tour guide said, to put it in perspective, a buffalo weighs 1 ton. So if you can imagine 500 buffalo, that's how much it would be. Absolutely crazy. So here's what happened. It's shared bathrooms. It's shared bathrooms. So the rooms are really, really super cool, but all they have is a sink in there. So you have to go to a shared bathroom. So on our last, we were only there 2 mornings. We'd say 2 nights. So on our second morning there, my grandma is going to die when she hears this.
You shouldn't say it.
Die when she hears this.
You shouldn't tell her because at her age, that's probably not.
That's true. At her, yeah, Grandma, have you taken your heart medicine? So on the second morning, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So I get dressed, get up, head down to the bathroom, and I was like, oh my goodness, somebody bombed this place.
Here's an even better picture I took of it.
It stunk to high heaven. Absolutely stunk to high heaven. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Mike sent another one. He had to send another picture. Here's another picture right here.
This is the outside of the.
This is the outside right here. Pretty darn tootin' cool, isn't it? I mean, it's just so neat. So there it is. So I was like, oh man. So I walk into the stall and I turn around and sit down. Now remember, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm barely even awake. I'm not awake. And I turn around and go to sit down to do my business. And I look down and someone had pooped all over the floor and smushed it all over the bathroom door. It still makes me want to gag. Oh, the smell. Actually, oh my goodness. I'm having an issue.
Just the dream is bringing it on.
Oh, it was so bad. It was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And they keep having, I don't know, they keep having signs on the toilet to not stand. So apparently some people stand on the toilet and try to go instead of just sitting. And so I assume this person tried standing and missed. It was smashed all over the bathroom. I had walked in it. So I had to go get my shoes cleaned, go down, tell the people down there. I felt so bad for the maid who cleaned that up. So now I am having a very difficult time using public restrooms. It was disgusting. I was just like, this is awful. Absolutely awful. It was absolutely awful. Okay, so that's my story. You guys probably don't want to hear it, but
okay.
Moral of this story is if it stinks, just find another bathroom.
So this isn't gross, but just as a PS onto her story, I went to go see Old Faithful off the deck because where we were, there was a special deck where if you're in the hotel, you can go see from that deck. And it's a small deck, but I went to go see and I walked past that bathroom on the way and the door was open and there was this like teenage guy in there who was cleaning and I was like, oh, hey. And he's like, he just had this look like, please kill me now on his face.
And they'd only been open 2 days.
And I was like, oh, I feel so bad for you, man.
2 days they'd been open.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt so, it was just awful. Barbara says a good old comedy is Kisses for My Husband. Ooh, did you write that one down? Fred McMurray's wife becomes president, and he's the first man from the early 60s. Oh, we got to watch that one next. What was the other husband one we watched last night? It's really good, actually.
Something like, What's Wrong with Husband? Or I can't remember for sure.
Oh, crud. I can't remember.
Here, hold on. I can go look.
Connie says she just pulled her dinner out of the microwave. I'm sorry, Connie. I tried to warn you, give you time. So sorry.
I look for
Vicky says YouTube is my go-to for movies. Yep. And Tanya says I spent most of my TV time on YouTube. We got a new TV. I haven't bought a new TV in years. So we got all the 4K videos. Very good. And Michelle says I got Max to watch a show and then I lost interest. There you go. Amazing Grace says I have Friendly TV. I got it for Christmas movies. Yep. I watch Christmas movies. I say all Christmas movies all year, if you ask me. Marianne says my store has marked down Bob Evans pork sausage a pound for 49 cents and chicken breasts for $1.98. Man, I would stock up on it all. That's great.
Oh, they're calling it an innocent affair, but on YouTube they were calling it
Oh, they called it
something
something
about my
else.
husband.
Let's see. 1948 is what it was. Comedy husband. Let me try that. It was called Don't Trust Your Husband on YouTube, but the original name is called An Innocent Affair. But on YouTube, they called it Don't Trust Your Husband. It's really cute. Okay, you can send me the next one.
It's funny. It's a lot of
After
just
my
when
snoring.
one problem is almost solved, then you roll right into another problem.
I gotta sniff my orange to get that smell out of
your imagination. I didn't send you 7 yet, right?
No. Ellen says, as long as users of GLP-1 drugs for diabetes, I can imagine using them for just weight loss. Well, I mean, I don't see a problem for people using them with weight loss if it helps. I mean, the side effects could be bad. I don't know if there's going to be thing like smoking with side effects or not. I don't know.
Well, I was wondering if that's what she meant about the side effects, because I do know the side effects were not that spectacular.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Dragon fruit. I did pause my Sling stream and use Sling free stream now. There you go. Darlene, Mike, who taught you how to cook? Nobody, did they?
No, I just started practicing and trying things out. Although mostly I just think that sounds good and I put that together. Well, I also used to work in a lot of restaurants and so kind of learned some stuff there. And I also learned which things go together well. At one restaurant I was cooking, but that was mostly omelets and not as fancy as the ones I make Tara, but omelets and breakfast items and sandwiches and stuff. So mainly it's just been, trial and error.
Patricia says, I have the best shepherd's pie recipe. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like that. Mike did help me test that.
Yes.
Lorraine says, that's not weird. It's a European thing. There you go.
I think she means
standing on the toilet.
No.
What?
No. I think she meant the picnic at the cemetery.
I think she's meaning standing on the toilet. Lorraine,
well, she posted that before you told the story, so that's why I was thinking she.
Oh, she did? Oh, okay. Then a European thing to go to the cemetery? Okay. Never heard of it. Lori, Aldi's has bagels, 50% off each bag was 95 cents. I bought a bunch and froze them. Very good. Dragon fruit, I'm thinking of canceling Amazon to keep Walmart. I would. Yeah. Helps with free delivery. Yeah. Jennifer, thank you for offering the ebook version. I love it. Also with Walmart, I think you can watch movies on Walmart too. Thank you for offering the ebook version. I love it. No extra stuff added to my house. You are welcome. Sarah says, tell her what happened at the hotel. See, they wanted to know. They wanted to know. To be warned. Mary loves copycat recipes. Thank you. We have several copycat recipes in our volume 1 and volume 2. Darling, is there a tax deduction when you donate household items? Yes, if you're over a certain amount. Now, do you know what the threshold is for tax write-offs?
For what?
For tax write-offs. What's the threshold now? Now they have like a certain amount that you're just allowed to write off instead of every individual thing, except if you're
talking about the standard deduction versus the. I don't know what it is, but it's on the tax form, the standard deduction. I can look real quick if you want.
So now they just have a standard deduction, so it may not be worth it unless you have more than that.
There's always been a standard deduction, but basically there's a certain amount where you don't have to add up anything and you subtract that off of your income right off the top, and that's called the standard deduction. But if you give a lot of stuff to charity or you donate things in various places and have various other expenses, then you can add all that up, and that's itemized deductions, and it's however much the total comes up to. One thing I would say on that is we used to not write off donations to charity. And then I think I was concerned, like, how do you figure out how much to write off? Because we didn't want to get on the bad side of the IRS on saying it's worth more than it is or something. And so if the charities actually have a list on their website that say these kinds of things are this much and these kinds of things are this much. And so it makes it really easy. I'll take a look real quick. And see
all right. Dragon Fruit loved the great cost cutting tips on utilities. Thank you. You're welcome. Amazing Grace says she'll buy it. I'm waiting for a new cookbook. Yeah, I actually have cookbooks out the wazoo I could do. It's just getting the time to do them. Terry, for many fast food and chain restaurants, the recipes aren't too expensive to compare costs. Yeah, they're not.
So, oops, in 2024, go away. Sorry, updates and cookies and all that business. In 2024, where did I just see it? Standard deduction for single or married filing separately, $14,600. You take off of your income before they calculate taxes.
So you'd have to have more than that to make it worth it.
Married filing jointly, $29,200. So if your total, but there are things, the write-off for itemized deductions is not just the giveaways to charity. It's cash giveaways to charity. It's donations to Goodwill.
Medical.
It's medical things. It's real estate taxes and stuff like that. So if you live in a place where your real estate taxes are really super high, like California, where your little bitty house is a $2 million house, you're probably itemizing already. So in that case, definitely take it off.
You can send me the next one. Dragon Fruit would be the first to buy a copycat book. Thank you. Karen, gross. What is wrong with people? I know. It was all I could do to just keep from gagging. Ugh. That was all I could do. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, while Mike's getting me the last of the comments, did you send them?
Well, I
okay.
only had like 3, so I was just gathering them up.
Sarah says, when you turn 65, do you not pay personal property taxes anymore for your house, or is it just reduced? It just depends on your state and how your state has it. So like in our state, you still pay them. But in Kansas, Mom got a discount for being, retired or whatever, Social Security, whatever it is.
Most states that, as far as I'm aware, here come the questions. Most states, as far as I'm aware, or most local governments have some sort of a credit for elderly and stuff, but it differs depending on which one.
Yeah. Heidi says, I work in a nursing home. I would rather clean the nursing home bathrooms any day over a public restroom. People are pigs. I know. It's crazy. Mary says, I'm an RN. Poop stories don't bother her. Good job. Normally, poop stories don't bother me, but when I step in it, and oh man, that was bad. Christian, pep talk advice for grocery shopping. The best deals when you need to bring all your small kids with you to shop. I've been doing Aldi prices smaller store, and 2 kids fit up top. I don't know what the rest of it was. So the first part is, if at all possible, go shopping without your kids. I know you have to bring them, but can you go in the evening when your husband can watch them? Can you go on Saturday or Sunday and have him watch them or something, or trade with a mom? Those are some ideas for not taking them. But here's the thing. Prepare them when you're going in that you're not going to be buying them anything. Or say, if you guys are really good and you don't ask me for anything, we will buy this box of ice cream bars and we will all have one when we get home from the grocery store. If you behave, you don't take stuff off the shelves, if you're not fighting and you're quiet while Mom grocery shops, I will buy you this treat. But if you guys misbehave, you're not going to get the treat. Now, what I would do in that situation is, let's say Jimmy, Bobby, and Susie are all with you at the grocery store, and Bobby is being a little hoodlum, but Jimmy and Susie are doing just fine. I would buy the grocery bars for Jimmy and Susie, and Bobby doesn't get one, is what I would do, because it's not fair for the 2 that are being good to pay the price for the one that's acting up.
And I mean, you don't have to really make a big stink about it, but it's fine if they eat it in front of the other one.
Yeah.
Because then the one realizes, oh, well, I'm not getting it because I did that.
Yeah. Tell them ahead of time you're not buying them anything unless you want to do that. That is the biggest thing. Now, I will say, of course, my kids said differently the other day, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never, ever had my kids throwing a tantrum at the grocery store. It just did not happen. Because my kids knew I wasn't going to put up with that. I don't put up with it at home. I'm not going to put up with it at the grocery store.
Well, we were pretty, like, if Tara said, if you misbehave, you're not getting it. It wasn't like, oh, you've misbehaved, you get one more chance and then you're not getting it. No, the very first time of misbehaving, that would be the end. Although we didn't really have that problem because they knew that you were like
Yeah.
that.
So
I guess that's having a
Although,
mom that's totally black and white.
I said that the other day, and one of my kids was like, "Oh yeah, right, Mom. We did it all the time." I'm like, "No, you didn't. Believe me, I would remember if my kids were acting up in the grocery store because I don't put up with it.
It's funny.
We would have left the grocery store. I would not have done it.
Yeah, they never missed
And
like that.
my kids never screamed. Yeah, maybe they asked for something now and then, but I would either tell them no, or I'd say, well, if you want to spend your own money and buy it, you can spend your own money and buy it.
And if you told them no, they didn't argue with you and try to negotiate and all that business.
So that's what I did. Make sure they are fed before you go. Everybody's gone to the bathroom, all diapers changed, everybody's fresh. And if you're buying all these groceries, get something for them, a snack in the car later going home if it takes you a while. Apples, oranges, like little cuties or something easy to eat, or granola bars, something that you can grab easy. And do it after they've had a nap and they're rested and they're not whiny and tired. R. McClure says, did you see my thank you? Stockpiled paper plates, bowls, plastic utensils, and using them now until my kitchen plumbing is fixed. That is great. I am so glad that was helpful. Amber, have you heard that Walmart is pulling stock from the shelf? So I talked about that before. It's hard to know what is actually happening and was being exaggerated. That just, like I said earlier, it just doesn't make sense for them to pull food that they've already paid for off the shelves and not sell it. That doesn't make sense.
Because they'll lose if the food expires while they're playing some kind of game.
What reason would Walmart have to do that?
It sounds to me like the kind of conspiracy idea that somebody on a YouTube channel would put on to get everybody riled up, but that probably isn't really true. That's my gut from that.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to check out our books. They're on sale right now. Mike needs to put the lower third on there. Livingonadime.com is where you can get them. Volume 1 and Volume 2, you can use them together or apart. They're totally different recipes. I just couldn't fit them all in one book. And then my gluten-free, dairy-free edition, the individual books are 40% off. And the sets are 50% off. And then my price book right here is 40% off to help you save money using your ads. Danielle, can you send me the next one?
Yeah.
Danielle says, what are your favorite things from your cookbook to make for larger groups you are having over? So chili, green chili, barbecue chicken, those are all good ones. So barbecue pork is another one that I do. Pasta salads, potato salads, coleslaw are all cheap and easy to make, and everybody loves them. Baked potatoes would be another one. You could put a whole bunch of baked potatoes in the oven and have a baked potato bar if you wanted. And all those recipes are in our cookbook and on our website, livingonadime.com.
And it's funny because when Tara talks about those things, since we've lived in this house, we've had a lot of get-togethers, and she's actually tested all those things on a lot of people.
The bean goulash in Volume 1 is another big one, and the potato soup and the broccoli soup. My potato soup, everybody just loved the potato soup. Super Easy Recipes is where you can find the video, or livingonadime.com is where you can find the recipe. Mary says, in Iowa, we have homestead and veterans exceptions. Yep. Kristen says, what about advice on how many stores to hit in a week or day? Is it worth running around and paying a few dollars overall? So I would say if you're saving more than $10, it's worth it running to another store. If you're not saving more than $10, I wouldn't go to another store. But it depends how far the store is. So if I was going 15 or 20 miles and I was stocking up on chicken that was $1.49 a pound instead of $3 or $4 a pound, it would definitely be worth it. If I was just going to go get milk that I'm saving 50 cents on, no. In my town, my grocery stores, 2 are right next to each other and 1 is like a quarter of a mile away. So I hit all 3 going. If you're able to do that, then it just depends. Now, if you're hauling kids around, you've got to decide how much getting in and out of car seats and all that. Is it worth it to save $10 to go to the store next door? Maybe not. So that's where you kind of just decide for yourself. Heather says, Tara, I started carnivore 3 months ago. I'm 53, plantar fasciitis. Headaches are gone, down 14 pounds. I thought it would be expensive, but I'm not hungry on carnivore. I hope it helps you. I tried it 2 years ago and I gained 10 pounds. and I didn't feel any better. But my doctor said, well, yeah, calories count. So, because I was eating like a pound of steak every day. Well, I was eating like 3,500 calories. It's no wonder I gained weight. So I got to decide if I want to try that or not. I don't know. I'll see. Denise.
When you were doing carnivore, were you strictly adhering to it, or
Yeah.
because the other day you talked about doing keto, but then you said I only occasionally ate a donut or something. You didn't say donut, but you said something that wasn't on keto. So that's not keto if you're not
No.
only on. Okay, so
No, I was strictly on carnivore
So
for a full month.
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I did it for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was during the remodel
Hmm.
because I was feeling so bad during our kitchen remodel. Denise, my daughter did it once, parked the car. Oh yeah, mine didn't either. My daughter did it once. I parked the cart, took her out to the car. She got whooped. Told her if she was ready to behave, we would go back in. Otherwise, we go home. Only happened once. Yeah. I mean, I never had to do that, but that's what I would have done if I had to for my kids. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent or anything. I'm just saying my kids knew the expectations. At home, we didn't act like that. We're not going to act like that out in public. And let me tell you, I have one that's not an adult yet, but he's going to be 16 in a few weeks. All the rest are adults. And I have had person after person after person tell me what nice, respectful, considerate, kind adults my kids are.
We're proud of them.
We met two of my kids as co-workers just in the last weeks. And all of them were completely complimentary of how they act and how considerate and kind and thoughtful and helpful they were.
They went out of their way to be complimentary. That was the thing. It wasn't just like we ask and they say.
Yeah.
They go out of their way.
And so you're doing your kids a harm when you let them act this way. And I spanked my kids, but I only spanked them till they were about 5 years old. And then it wasn't every single day. When they did something that was truly awful, yeah, we would spank them. Like one time, one child whipped the other child with a reed. That got a spanking. But most of the time, it was just timeout in the bathroom. I did timeout in the bathroom because there was no games, there was no books, there was no toys, nothing. There was nothing they could do in the bathroom. And they had to sit on the toilet in the bathroom for the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however long it was. But otherwise, they knew, and my kids weren't perfect. I mean, they were squabbling, they were fighting, they had their issues, but my kids weren't just fighting all the time.
They do have to know that there are firm boundaries at some point. And kids actually like boundaries. So when parents say there's a boundary, but then they kind of wiggle around the boundary, if you say, okay, I'm telling you 1, 2, then what the kids learn is the boundary is flexible. I'm not really sure where the edge of it is. And in some ways they like it because they can push the limits, but in other ways they don't like it because they don't feel safe in the limits. So it's good for them to know these are the boundaries and they are firm boundaries.
Yep.
There were a couple of questions here. R. McClure asked, what's the address regarding order shipment? You can find it if you go to livingonadime.com and click on the contact. It's right there, but it is P.O. Box 6837, Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801.
Yep.
And if you order through the mail, make sure that you include shipping, which you can add it to the cart and not actually buy it. Put your address in and it'll tell you the shipping. And we send out an email reminder at one point before the sale is over that says how much to estimate for shipping if you can't figure out how to do that in the store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Krista says, that's why I wondered when it's meat, I make a trip, but if it's 50 cents or less per item, yeah, I don't. I have to save $10 to go to another store. So let's say milk is on sale at Albertsons for $2.77, which is this week's ad right here. But it's $3.47 at Walmart. I'm not going to make a special trip over to Albertsons to get it. So like milk today at Walmart is, yeah, $3.47. So it's only like 60 cents cheaper. I'm not going to take the extra trip and do that. Wanda says the bean goulash is delicious. Even her husband liked it. Thank you. Kristen says, some weeks I only do Walmart. Other times I wonder if it's worth going to ShopRite and load up on their major sales like meat and don't worry about the rest. Yes, I did that a lot. I would just go in and get the meat that was on sale for super cheap, fill up my freezer, and that was it, because that was all I could handle. Jesus and Coffee, I would love to see some 5 ingredients or less recipes. Those videos seem to do really well. Go to my other channel, Super Easy Recipes. Can you put the link in there?
Yes.
Most of those recipes are 5 ingredients or less. Actually, I started the YouTube channel named 5 ingredients or less, and I changed it to Super Easy Recipes because I just had some recipes that were like 6 or 7, and I really wanted to cook them. So most of my recipes are 5 ingredients or less on my other channel, Super Easy Recipes.
I'll put that up now.
Amazing Grace says, my daughter said that gentle parenting is how they raise children now. It seems to me that they do whatever they want. My kids had to mind and not do whatever they felt like. Yeah. Well, and there's this whole thing about, well, they're just kids. We'll just let them be little hoodlums all over the restaurant. No, you are to teach children how to behave with manners. That's the job of the parents. I know they're kids, but if you can't handle your 2-year-old at the restaurant, you do not go out to eat with your 2-year-old. It's called respect for other people.
Well, and for us, there are certain things we recognize. These are what kids do in this context, and that's fine. So like we let them have a lot of liberty running around in the yard and doing things that kids do. Because some moms are like, don't go do this. Don't run outside in your bare feet. Don't do this. And it becomes like a OCD kind of thing. It's fine. There might be something that you recognize if you're on the ranch and they run out in their bare feet and they come in, it's going to mess up everything. But in general, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that people are really OCD about with their kids and that you don't need to be. But then when it comes to important things, they're kind of all over the place on the boundaries on that. And it should be that in things like going to the store or behaving in a restaurant and treating adults with respect and different things like that, those things should be pretty firm. And then other things, sometimes it's good to ask, is it really a disaster? Is this really a crisis on small things where if it's mom's OCD, that's just not necessary? Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. So look what's showing up on your recommended. Walmart is pulling food from the shelves for the next recommended video on Mike's channel. So do I have to go to Walmart tonight? I don't want to go to Walmart tonight and see if there's food on the shelves.
I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. It's a
tomorrow I'm helping my friend declutter and reorganize her basement. And then the next day we're doing a service project. And so I'm like, I really don't want to be doing this video, although maybe I should since everybody's talking about it. Wanda, would weight loss on carnivore depend on how fatty the meats are? Only because of the calorie count. It would only matter because you're eating too many calories. Crash Course says, I eat carnivore to keep my sciatic pain under control. I tried throwing in 2 low-carb tortillas last week and paid for it the next morning. I don't know. I guess I can give it a try again. I am getting kind of frustrated because, yeah, anyway. Lala Bama says, traditionally families would gather at the cemetery on Memorial Day. Older generation called it Decoration Day to tend to the graves of loved ones. We would take food and have lunch after the work was done. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Jennifer says Walmart Plus includes Paramount, so you can watch movies on that. Rosie Chaplet says,
is that what you have, Walmart Plus?
I don't have Walmart Plus.
Oh, okay.
Says bathroom is a good place for 5-minute timeout, running water, and indoor plumbing. Yeah. Well, that was it. They didn't have the excuse they couldn't get a drink, and they didn't have not that they would thirst to death, and they couldn't use the excuse that they had to go to the bathroom.
And there were no toys in there.
Yeah. Tanya, I spanked my kids when they were young, but as they got older, taking privileges like no computer and games worked better. Yes, that's exactly what I did. Dragon, I wasn't spanking 15-year-olds. I wasn't even spanking 6-year-olds.
Well,
I pretty much stopped when they were 5.
You weren't like venting your anger, which is, I think, what a lot of people do. That's not okay.
No. Dragon Fruit says, do you have a red chili seasoning mix in your cookbook? I have a chili. I think I have a chili seasoning mix in here, but I don't know if it's red chili. I don't know if that's different. Sarah, I have a short story to tell. I was at work one day and someone had thrown up in the aisle. I went down the aisle and wasn't paying attention. I felt something squishy as I was walking. Oh, I looked down. It was like, OMG, I had to get a tote and cover it up so no one else stepped in it. This is at the warehouse I worked at. Oh my goodness. Hello, Belinda. Denise says, yes, exactly. I tried to tell my daughter this, but she says, I'm not raising my daughter like you raised me. She already has major problems with her. I know. I mean, you just got to let your kids do what they're going to do. Jesus and coffee. I too spanked my children until they were 5 or 6. And after that, it wasn't really necessary. Yes. Raising them up to love and fear the Lord makes a big difference. Yes. MLE says, think about it. People who love God respect others. Yes. Karen, yes, Mike, it's a conspiracy to make people panic buying it. So sad. Rosie Chaplet says, oh, declutter. I did a major declutter at the beginning of the year. I made a list to declutter these 52 weeks this year. Very good. All right. Jim, my daughter prayed to be saved after spanking when she was little.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
She realized why that she's a sinner and she wanted to stop sinning. That would make sense. I mean, it's kind of cute. Susan, she just loves us. Thank you. Dragon fruit, do you use coupons to grocery store price match like they did? They do not they do not price match anymore. And coupons are kind of hit and miss. A lot of coupons are digital now. So I do use the digital coupons when they have them. So let's see, are there some in this week's ad? Yeah. So like here they have digital coupons in my store, but nothing really worth it. But yeah, there's the digital coupons right there. Jennifer, my mom had a talk with us before we went into the store about how to behave. She said, if you act up, we're leaving the store. Yeah.
And then do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids will be like, mom's got a half a cart full of groceries. He's not going to leave.
Yeah.
And if you call their bluff on something, there was one time where the kids were fighting at home. And we were like, stop doing that. And they wouldn't listen. They kept fighting anyway. And we said, if you do that one more time. So actually what had happened is we were living in Wichita, Kansas, and they had big fireworks in May for River Festival. And then there were big fireworks again on 4th of July. And Tara and I weren't feeling that great, and we really didn't want to go. And this was the 4th of July ones, and they had already been to them. So we said, stop fighting. If you keep fighting,
we're not going.
We're not going. And they just kept fighting and fighting. And finally we said, okay, that's it. We're not going. And they were like, oh, what? And we didn't go. Well, we were thinking we didn't feel like going in the first place. We were just going to do something special for them. And since they were not behaving, they understood that they didn't get to go because of that. Now, really, it wasn't that. It was more of a psychological thing because they had actually just seen fireworks not that long before it. But it was very meaningful to them in that moment. And they really
I wonder if they still remember it, though. We should go in and ask.
How they remember it, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Thelma, what did I make in dinner for 3 minutes? So I had pre-cooked a whole bunch of chicken and I froze it in little packets and I made brown sugar garlic chicken. Susan says children know when you're bluffing. If you say you're going to do something, by all means do it. Yes. Bernadette says it's illegal here in Ireland now to spank your kids. That's just awful. I understand why. Because
we shouldn't beat
there are a lot of parents who beat their children and don't just spank them on the butt 2 or 3 times. Beating them, if you're leaving bruises, if you're using anything but your hand, yeah, that's beating them. But yeah.
Actually, Susan said, I don't know if you heard this, but children know when you were bluffing. Yeah. If you say you're going to do something, by all means do it. Yeah. You should never, ever, ever threaten anything that you're not going to actually do if they look you in the face and say, I don't care what you say. You should never make a threat for something you're not willing to do.
Jesus and Coffee says, I just asked my 17-year-old son if he's traumatized from being spanked as a child. He said he doesn't remember me ever doing it. Maybe I should do it again so he remembers.
Well, and the thing is, like for us, it was, they were little, they were just in your face rebellious. They needed to know there's a hard boundary here. And it wasn't really about pain. It was about listen here, pay attention. And that was a thing. Like with our daughter, she had this, we did the diapers, the cloth diapers, and they had lots of powder in them. And, smacking the diaper just a little, it was the sound and the thought.
It had rubber pants on the outside.
You laid hands on me. That was the big moment for her of like, and realizing. But the thing is, it was like this little sound and a poof of diaper powder. So it's not like it was a lot of pain. It was just mostly, it was basically saying, hey, look, this is the limit. We're not putting up with that.
Yeah. Granny Pepper said, my boys' times out were 1 minute for each year of age. Yes. So if they were 5, then they stayed for 5 minutes. That's exactly what we did. One of my kids would laugh at me when I grounded them. When a few minutes later, I'd say, let's go to, they were laughing because I'd already forgotten I'd grounded them. Susan remembers her spankings because she was 6 and she's almost 66. Yeah, I mean, I get that, especially if you're being beaten. Being beaten is not okay.
Well, that's why I say don't express your anger on the kids. That's not good. Like if you're angry, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
Then come back and say, I told you not to do that, and you did that anyway, and this is the penalty.
Yep. Hello, Dale in Canada. All right, guys, our Mother's Day sale is 50% off the sets and 40% off our individual books. Easy recipes get you in and out of the kitchen quick, that your family will love, with ingredients you already have on hand that are cheap. Visit us at livingonadime.com. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.